Hey folks, this is great Judy coming at you from my hunting stand on rifle deer season. I'm sitting in an area, we call this the clear cut. There's an area here in front of me on my left that they actually did a clear cut probably 5 years ago. The landowner had there's some great big trees in here and they were probably past prime, so he just had them all taken out. When he did, we got an explosion of brush in here. Thicket. Anyway, I just saw 2 bucks. About 15 minutes ago, I was watching the first one come by. He walked right down there by that grass. He came in over here. So we got a nice steady wind out of the west. And that buck was walking, well, it's actually northwest. He didn't scent me because I'm up in the stand, but he walked all the way in front of me. And he went down there and made a rub. He started rubbing on a tree. So I'm watching him, and then he walks up on that hill over there. And he stands looking back, and I see another deer. I'm like, what the heck? There's another buck behind him. The first one was a 7-pointer. And to be legal in Missouri, in this unit anyway, not all of Missouri, but just this unit, they've got to have 4 points on one side. So the first buck was legal, but he's a young deer. You could tell by his body he didn't have the mass. But he's gonna make a beautiful buck next year. And so I just let him pass. And down there by those, in that bottom right there, another deer come walking out. And it was a big deer. A bigger buck, body wise. But his rack, of all things, he only had 6 points. And I saw him on the first weekend. This is the second weekend of deer season. You could not put another point on him. I mean, I looked and looked and looked. There's no 4 points on that deer. He's just a real heavy 6 point. So he will probably never be harvested, not in this unit, because you got to have 4 points on one side. But he went up on that hillside and he made a rub on a tree. But there's a big one in here. I saw him opening weekend, and he was right over there on that ridge right there. And the 6 point came out first, and that big one came up out of that brush down there where I'd seen 4 does walk down in there. He come charging out of there, and he stopped right behind the tree over there. And there was no way. He just couldn't harvest the deer. There wasn't anything to get a good target on other than his butt. And when he went out behind the big tree over there, he was over that hill and gone. So we're sitting in you see the cedars there. That's a cedar thicket. There's 10 acres over there, just solid cedar. A bedding area. And then right over here in front of me on this side is another 10-acre cedar thicket, separated by this patch of white oak timber in between them and a creek. And so where I'm sitting, we got a side wind. The deer can't smell me. And as long as I don't move a lot, they're not gonna see me. So I'm just kind of holding pat here. It's 10:30 in the morning. I saw a couple of does early. They went into that thicket over here on my right. That big one, he's in here somewhere. And I thought I heard him grunt a while ago, and it was my belly growling. I need a snack or something. My belly's telling me I need to feed it. But anyway, I did hear a grunt back over there in this thicket in front of me about 45 minutes ago. I haven't heard him anymore, but just one single buck grunt. what's cool though is this morning I heard something walking over here. There's that great big snag over there. There was 3 coons went up that big white oak snag, and they all, one after another, climbed in that hole at the top. And so that's a coon den tree. And then a little while ago, the blue jays were just raising heck right here in front of me. And I'm like, I wonder if that's him coming. I wonder if that's the deer coming. And there's a great big owl took off flying up through this valley here, and those blue jays were just raising Cain at that big owl. It looked like a great horned owl. And of course the squirrels, my goodness. I bet you I've seen 100 squirrels this morning. They're everywhere. And what's kind of goofy about it is they all seem to be in pairs of 2. Not a lot of single squirrels, or 2 at a time, either chasing each other or putting up acorns for the winter. But I've got a hand warmer in each one of my gloves. It's cold out here. The wind's blowing out of the northwest. And I got my my trusty. This is my Ruger 243. And this is what they call the M77. I've had that rifle since I was 14 years old. And this guy, he liked to go hunting with me. He's an older fellow, and he traded in guns a lot. I bought that gun for $250, which was a ton of money back in, what was that, 1974. I was 14 years old. Ton of money. But I've taken care of it, and I've had it 46 years. And it's harvested a deer for my family every year. Folks, this is natural. This is what people did for thousands of years. They might have used bow and arrows or spears or clubs or whatever they had, or rocks, but they harvested wild game. And without the wild game, they wouldn't have existed. They couldn't have lived. And so when I hear people say, oh, it's terrible, you're killing an animal. We're not killing an animal, we're harvesting a renewable resource. It's as natural as breathing. But you know what? If I don't harvest a deer this morning, I don't care. It's been a wonderful morning. The blue jays, the crows, the owls, the coons, the squirrels. I haven't seen a coyote yet. I heard one earlier before it got daylight. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful place to kind of sit here and take part in nature. And you know, if a big buck comes by, that's all right. Or if I see a doe, I've got some doe tags. I may have some doe. I told the boys I needed to get a doe because they're hard on my jerky supply, the boys. And Isaac and Ben like our deer jerky that Jan makes. And we're just about out. So I need to get a doe to make jerky. But we still got a couple days left. And it's just a beautiful thing to be in the woods this time of year. And the leaves are all off. You can see good. And if the camera's shaking a little bit, it's because I'm cold. And I'm hungry. So, well, they say you shouldn't go shopping in a grocery store if you're hungry. You buy everything. Well, I'm ready to get one of those does if I see it, because I'm hungry. Oh, there went my belly again, growling. Well, I think with that, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here, because that big boy may be coming by any minute. I don't want to be sitting here holding this camera. Oh, here comes the owl. Oh, there he is. He's coming down this valley. You won't be able to see him. I can see him with my naked eyes. So. Well, he's a big brute. This is just a wonderful place back in here, though. I've got timber. I'm going to set my I'll show you my 360. Check this out. All the way around me. It's just beautiful, beautiful timber. The deer normally are coming out of that bedding zone, that bedding area over there on my right, or directly in front of me, this other bedding area. It's just a real sweet spot to see a deer. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. And everyone new to the channel, hit that subscribe button on the way out. And that like, I appreciate it. And we'll see you on down the road. Maybe I'll get that deer.